Hello and welcome everybody back to League of Ungentlemanly Warfare Anno 1800. And I will use this occasion to address a few of the comments first. So, one of them is actually a bit more serious, but okay, let's get it over with. So, what I have read several times in the last episodes are comments like that I am not made for this game. That I am actually really bad, the city has no aesthetic value, and so on. So, to those people, I just want to say, I am not playing this game for building an aesthetic city. Or at least, I have a different definition of aesthetic city. Also, this is my first match that late in the game. All my previous knowledge was built up on the closed beta, press review versions, and so on that all went until tier 3. I don't have a private save game where I'm already at investors and so on, no, because I want to discover the game with you together. That is also the reason why I don't read strategy guides, hint videos, and so on, because I want to discover that stuff alone. On my own, I want to share this experience with you, but I am not a pro. I do not intend to be a pro player. I am just a random dude who is playing Anno, and who is doing a lot of mistakes, quite a lot actually, as we have seen in the past episodes. That happens. So if you want to watch a pro player, then I consider that you should watch a pro channel. Because here you are clearly not getting what you want. I won't be able to make you happy. And honestly, I don't even have the intention to make you happy. So please, move on. You won't be happy here. Unless you want to discover the game with me together, or watch an idiot like me discovering the game for the first time. If you can be entertained by that, then of course you're welcome to stay. Yeah, but again, I am not a pro. I do not have the ambition to be a pro, and comments like I am not like that one, that I am not made for the game, that I should play different games, that I should never play this game in multiplayer because I would be crushed by everybody. Sorry, but that isn't really constructive, that isn't really helpful. Also, I don't intend to play this game in online multiplayer. This is just not the type of player who I am, and just spending some time on the channel would have been enough to figure that out. So also that shows that you have basically zero knowledge about the content that I do. So yeah, do whatever you want, but again, I'm not a pro, and if you want a pro, you won't be happy here. So that is the first thing, and I know it is more of a serious thing. There's only a few comments like that, but they are there, they are bugging me, so I wanted to clarify it here. I'm not a pro player. So, and the second thing that is always coming up is the influence system, because apparently it is quite intransparent how it works. And I have to say, in my opinion, it doesn't work at all. So the idea is that you have here a profile level that is linked to your global population. For example, we have now here 60,282 population. That means we have a profile level of 38. And that translates into 380 influence, as we can see here, or in this case 370. Now also we start with 100 influence, so we have 470 in total. And once we get investors, we will get even more influence. What can we do with the influence? We can actually invest it, but it's not like we are having here a perk tree where we actively invest points. No, we do it by gameplay actions. Because, for example, you have several free actions available. For example, here the charter routes. We have 15 influence points for free here. That means we can have 3 charter routes. And after that, as we can see at the bottom of this tooltip, every additional charter route will cost 5 influence. Same here for military stuff. Gunboats cost 2 influence, frigates cost 4, ship of the line 8, battlecruisers 12. Building defenses, cannon towers, 7 influences, big baddies, 14 influence. So if you're asking, what is costing influence? Basically everything. If you want to settle on islands, if you want to build commuter piers, if you want to buy shares on islands, if you want to expand the zoo and the museum, everything costs influence. So as yeah, English language again. So you are extremely limited in the game, especially in the mid-game. You have to specialize. And that is why war is so shitty and dragging out so much, because whenever you conquer an island of an enemy, you don't just occupy it because you actively conquer it. That means the island changes ownership, therefore it costs influence. And that means you get the negative influence, you can't build new ships, you can't buy new ships. And that makes it really hard to wage war because, well, if I want to rebuild ships because I lost some in the fleet, I will have to destroy the warehouses on the islands that I conquered in order to get the influence necessary to build the ships, and in the meantime the AI will just settle again on those islands. And that is what makes war in this game so extremely shitty. It is mainly because of the fucking retarded influence system that does not work at large-scale wars. There would have been a third option would be necessary when conquering an island, and that would be occupation. That, for example, if you win the war in the next hour, the island changes ownership, unless the enemy has conquered it back. But it does not cost influence in the meantime. For example, that would be a proper addition to the system so that it doesn't get as annoying in war. But we don't have that here. And I hope that clarified things a little bit. I know the influence system, it is intransparent. Oh yeah, there's also a second thing to it. When you invest influence, for example by building warship and defensive buildings, that means we have a total military investment of 179 influence. You actually do unlock perks that give you global bonuses. Yeah, for example here in culture we get plus 10% attractiveness. Our military is 10% stronger, but those are just the side effects. That is also why when I'm conquering islands and then later destroying the warehouses, it always says that I am losing an influence bonus. It is the unifier. This bonus, because, well, when conquering an island, I easily get here to this grade with the influence that I have spent. And once I destroy warehouses, I go back to here. Therefore, I'm losing the unifier perk. But yeah, again, everything costs influence, and that makes everything a little bit annoying. So, then there's this third thing. People have also asked me why I'm not using electricity to boost my factories. I am going to do that in the future. I'm just not there yet. But I plan to do so. And it's not as easy as some people might think, because, well, the reason is, it does not work like in Anno 2205 with the boosts. So if you have here the boost of here 77%, that means stuff is being converted 77% faster, but not more efficiently. Meaning, I would still have to build the additional farms and cattle farms and stuff like that. Otherwise, the boost wouldn't bring me anything. So if I want to build a factory, like here, in order to boost all these buildings, I would also have to increase the amount of farms that I have and everything else in order to actually support the boost. And it's actually not that easy. There is a lot of work that needs to be done in advance. And I am going to do that because as I want especially the heavy industry to be powered by electricity, so that we can produce faster. For example, iron is always a huge issue. Steel beams is a huge issue. And while farms do not profit from electricity, yeah, let me just click on a farm. You can see here, it doesn't. While bakeries and windmills do. So I could build a factory, a power plant. I always want to say factory. Actually several, to boost them to 300%. But that will also mean that I would have to build 8 additional grain farms. I don't have a space on this island for that. Yeah, but what I can do is, for example, boost the mines, because an iron mine actually does profit from that, as well as the steelworks. So that is actually something that we are going to do in the near future. I mean, we have a possibility to go for tracks. Well, we just need to get rid of a few ornaments here. Understood you. We can get with the tracks right here. And we have here 2 iron mines. Yeah, that would work. Even the charcoal kiln would profit from that. So, yeah, we are going to do that. And by that, we officially start the episode. I just had to speak out a few things that have been on my mind in regards of the comments. There are, of course, always positive comments that are supporting me, and I'm really grateful for that. I really am. But there are some things that I just have to address. Okay, then. So here we have that. As we can see, we have here full output storage. That might also be because, yeah, we have a lot of iron. Ah, also an issue that is always coming up. With storage space. In case you haven't noticed, I'm always having a slight overproduction just in case. And I already built a few storages. I'm not capped at 215. I will build more storages later on. So first we need to ensure that we have here proper infrastructure. So we have build roads. I wonder how well that will work. Alright, I forgot. And maybe in the meantime we can also put stone roads here. Yeah, if we place it here, we can boost the entire sector here, including our glass production. So what we need to do is get a track over here. That forces us to realign a few things. Good. Yeah, and then we will just lead the tracks up here. Yeah, I know we need to be a little bit careful. I'll make here a few changes. Ah, god damn it. For one tile, it doesn't work. So that should now do the trick. And let's see when the first oil delivery will arrive. I mean, the way is actually quite long. Now, what are you saying? The amount of oil that we are having is decreasing. Do I have to build additional oil wells? Apparently I do. And here again, stuff is cramming up. But I want that oil over here in order to increase our steelworks.
Aim saved.
And also everything else involved.
We like to think independently.
Yeah, and you are allowed to think independently. Nobody cares. Jean de la Fortune. And of course we lack the influence to build an oil tanker. That is again what I said. It is just so annoying that everything costs influence. They really need to rework that system. It's just ridiculous. I know that the idea was to limit some players so that they don't stomp each other like Lady Margaret Hunt did with Arthur Kasparov. That one player just suddenly gets so strong that everything gets destroyed. But still. Also, we still have fur issues. Okay, now we are going to do that first. And later we will have the time to work on our coffee production. I mean, that was what I promised in the last episode, right? So this now should do the trick.
Nice day for it. Life here is rather static.
Okay, we are still waiting for an oil delivery over here. In worst case, we will have to build a few oil wells over here. And then transport it, but for that we actually need, again, more influence, so the city needs to grow. Honestly, I don't mind if we do that. Let's see how long my production on this island can keep up with the influx of people. So that works. Also, there was a common suggestion that I should sell all these ships. Yeah, and what is if Arthur is then declaring war on us? No, not doing that.
Circulation is
Oh, Arthur built a new building. The Members Club. In order to make the investors happy. Good, time to go to the new world.
Hold the crane.
Alright, so, the first thing that we are going to need is food.
Cargo stations.
Now, question is where? I mean, we're getting here our coffee. Yeah, we will use that little bit here.
A fire broke out. say.
Again a fire, again a safe game. So that should do the trick for us.
New orders.
I've been through
So
worse.
people, you will have to eat. And what you also want is some ponchos.
The fire has been vanquished.
I can also give you that. And then, just to make you guys happy, we're going to build here a chapel. So that should work.
Cargo
In the
stations.
meantime, we will send this ship down
On our
here.
way.
You reached a new milestone.
Also, we will start here with buying weapons. Oh my god, we got some influence! That means we will finally be able to get the oil from our other main island of the old world. But first I need to finish that coffee production. Okay, they don't have that much food yet.
Hold the crane.
Here I'm missing the option for transport 50.
Bring her around.
We have to thank you for it.
Dum, dum, dum. Oh, this over here is perfect for coffee production.
Cargo stations.
It's all prepared. Can I interest you in this recently polished app?
I reckon I could make you cry like a wee bairn.
Oh, now the people in Kebab Town are complaining that there's no pub.
That changes? Really?
That is
An
interesting.
explosion in one of your factories.
Of course.
If it's a fight you want. Oh!
We still got no oil over here.
Stand to attention for the boss.
The fire has been vanquished.
So apparently the oil that we have is being consumed quite well. Alright, 'Alright, 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 I mean, we lost a weapon factory.
Game saved.
New orders.
Ceasefire has ended.
So, on what we are also going to need is a few storage buildings.
Cargo boat at the ready.
Okay, coffee. The ratio is 2 to 1. Okay, so... that should work. Of course it is way more than we ever need. But that is not really important.
Aye.
Okay then, and of course we are now running out of opereros. But coffee has been unlocked as a need for them.
Gather more people.
Meaning that once these have started working, we should get more opereros on this island, because the need for coffee will be filled. Yep, as I said, just not as many as I had hoped. So that now works. Good, and that means we can now create a coffee route.
And my critics say I don't take enough risks.
Yeah, he's slowly getting annoying. I really need to be careful about hitting those buttons.
saved.
So, and the first coffee is about to be transported.
A fire broke out.
A fire, ah, here it is, okay. That is none of our concern.
The fire has been vanquished.
But yeah. We have achieved our goal for this episode, coffee. In the next episode we are going to produce more oil and then go for the light bulb production. So, that shall be our thumbnail. And yeah, as always, you liked this episode. If yes, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. It's always a great feedback for me. If you have any feedback, suggestions or whatsoever, then just type it down in the comments. And if you want to meet with other people, especially those who like this channel or the Anno series in general, then just join our community Discord server. You'll find a link in the video description. This just looks glorious. And yeah, if you want to get notified whenever I upload something new, then, well, just subscribe to the channel and make sure that notifications are activated. And with that, I say goodbye and see you next time in Anno 1800. Bye bye.